Evening, everyone. It's Sunday night at about 6:30, and this is your weekly gold update, as well as a look at what the futures are doing tonight, which is pretty much a whole lot of nothing. Um, let's start with the gold. The gold is basically unchanged, up a dollar, down a dollar. The silver is a little bit lower, and we are hopefully locked into this area where we are supported at about 1175, and we have pardon me, 1775, and we run into a lot of resistance, obviously, in the 1799, 1800 area, all the way up to this close around 1822. So let's call it 1775 to 1820. Tonight we are, basically unchanged, really down less than a tenth of a percent, and so there's little that we can make of that. Um, we had this huge 3 day break from 1835 down to 1675, and that really killed us with our GLD calls, which were heavily profitable right here. And as soon as we broke this first day, overnight actually, they became pretty much worthless. So we're locked into this trading range, and personally, I'm just going to sit and wait. It looked like the 5 day was gaining some strength versus the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 day. But as you can see, as it approached the 20 day is flattening out a little, and the 5 day is rolling over. Okay. So the silver, which has acted actually a lot more poorly than the gold had, which is really a switch, because during this whole period of time, we hadn't really broken down the way the gold had, and then of course we did. Actually, last Saturday we had a tax holiday here, a state tax holiday, and I actually bought a couple more 10-ounce silver bars, because when you can save 6.25%, that's definitely worth your while. I mean, that's 6.25% is pretty much a whole dollar an ounce. So we went in there. Okay. So the silver really looks like nothing. It's at the bottom of its trading range. The oil, which was down hard, continued down at the open here, but has since turned back to the upside a little. It's a very narrow range day, but if you look at my comment tonight, I was concerned about this 6194 area of that close and 6167. So far tonight, we have traded 6174, but now we're back to 6215. I know that it's a short range day. I know that it's still early, and 2 cents really doesn't mean much. But I think that, this is a fairly important area of support, as is the 200-day moving average at about 60 and a half. I was quoting that as about 60 in tonight's charts with comments. Okay, as far as futures go, look at the stocks. Absolutely nothing going on. Up a dollar in the S&P, up $27.50 in the Nas, down 13 in the Dow. So really not much of anything. The Russell, which has really been the big loser lately relatively, is up 50 cents. The one thing that I do want to show you is in this S&P. This has really, I've been using the weekly, and as you know, I've been quoting a lot of the distance that we get away from this weekly 200-day MA, for pullbacks, and we've had them very consistently. And I usually like to use a little longer term outlook, so I generally use the weekly when I make a comment. However, I looked at the daily and it's incredible. This 50-day moving average has stopped every single sell off. This one, it lasted a day longer, but look at how we've hit so consistently and turned up over and over and over and over again. And, that I thought was pretty impressive. So I think that we probably move higher. We probably test this high, which was 44.76. I think we probably hit 4,500, maybe as early as tomorrow or the next day. And then we'll see how we go. But, we've had fairly big runs off every single one of these. Very rarely, except in this case, did we not make a higher high almost immediately after the move. And in this one, we came down for a second try and made a higher low right on the line and then continued up to a new all-time high. So I think that's actually a pretty impressive indicator for what is to come. The bonds are basically unchanged. The Bitcoin is up 130. The Ethereum, which is the one I favor, is actually down $65, but it has a little bit more bullish looking chart in general than Bitcoin does. Bitcoin came down here and then made another new low and started up. When you see the Ethereum chart, you'll see that it really didn't have the same kind of sell-off as it looked on the chart, even though it was cut in half exactly the same way that Bitcoin was. Here we're 4,400, down here at the bottom, we're 1,700. So more than a 50% move. But we never made the second or the third low in Ethereum, and we started up. I really kind of need to see a higher high here, and of course a move above 33.53 would probably send us into this $3,600–3,700 range. All right, everyone, there you have it. I hope everyone had a good weekend, and I'll be back first thing in the morning with your pre-opening comment. By the way, this was video number 904, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.